Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're talking about the Boston Celtics. They lost in the conference finals. 7 games. Almost made history, but they didn't. My dad's a Boston Celtics fan. He went to school in Cambridge in the 80s. His roommate's dad was a front office executive, so he's like a die-hard Larry Bird fan. But under contract next year is Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Malcolm Brogdon, Marcus Smart, Derek White, Robert Williams. Righty. Then you also have Luke Cornett, Sam Hauser, Justin Champagnie as guys who are under contract. Then Grant Williams, a restricted free agent. Danilo Gallinari has a player option, which he'll accept. Mike Muscala has a team option, making, I believe it's actually a little sum, 3.5. I don't know if they keep him. They didn't really play him, so that one might decline. JD Davison and Maifondu Kabengele are restricted free agents. I expect JD to come back. I don't know if Kabengele will, but they have the 35th pick in the draft, and I expect them to take Andre Jackson out of UConn. And now this is a team that it was a bit disappointing because they added Malcolm Brogdon, and they saw Brown and Tatum become all NBA team members. And this is a team that has 13 players under contract from a 57-win team. And they have a decision with Grant Williams. Will they re-sign him and go into repeater tax? Or do they try to replace him? Also, Brown's eligible for the Supermax $295 million. And Tatum can sign a $318 million deal the following year. So both of those guys will get it, definitely. Now, the question is, out of Brogdon, Marcus Smart, and I don't think they're trading Derek White, but Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, and Al Horford, and Derek White, all earn a lot of money. I know Al Horford's only making 9.5 next year, but you look at the current situation and you think, it's interesting to say the least. Yeah, Al Horford's making 10. My apology, not 9.5, 10 next year. So it is a decline. So do you keep Al Horford? Do you think he'll be the ageless wonder? Do you think Robert Williams will stay healthy and will his offensive game expand? I think Derek White's untouchable, but do you move on from either Smart or Brogdon? And Payne Pritchard's seeking a trade. So do you trade Payne Pritchard, or do you trade one of the guards and hope Payne Pritchard can, be there? Do you use Gallinari and a few other guys to upgrade this roster? It's definitely interesting because the team's gonna, if they re-sign everyone, they're gonna navigate into the 25-26 season with $146 million committed just to Brown, Tatum, Smart, and Robert Williams, which is insane. So they paid $74.4 million in a luxury tax penalty. I expect Cornett and Muscala to be gone. I think Gallinari is gonna stay. Grant Williams seems like he's going to go. I really think he's going to go. Now, for the team, it's obviously to get Jaylen Brown extended. And I think with that being said, he would be ineligible to trade for 1 year. But I think that would be 1 year to give him time to prove that everything's good. I don't think they keep Grant Williams just because I think the Houston Rockets are going to pay way too much for him and you just won't be able to. Derek White can get extended for 3 years, $87.6 million. And I think a guy who got second team all defense, led all guards and total blocks this season. He held his opponents to under 50% shooting in the paint as a constant defender. I think he's pretty good. Pritchard can get an extension, but I doubt it. Look, Danilo Gallinari's back, and they need more wing defenders and wing three-point shooting. They have their own first-round pick in the next 7 years of the draft starting in 24. And they can trade their pick on draft night, so of the 24 first. So I wonder what they'll do if we go out and look at free agents that they can realistically get. Again, it's defense and three-point shooting. They need two-way guys. The top 15 or 20 so free agents, they're, maybe a Harrison Barnes who's a veteran swingman who can play small forward or small ball power forward. He's a capable outside shooter. He's a terrible playoff performer, but he off the bench provides some defensive versatility and leadership. Averages during the regular season 15 points, 4.5 rebounds, 1.6 assists. him and Daniil Gallinari off the bench for Brown and Tatum could be a duo. I think Bruce Brown might be too expensive for them, but if they could get Bruce Brown or like Naz Reid, that'd be amazing. Christian Wood can score, but I don't if you were to move on from Al Horford, Christian Wood would be like a good Al Horford replacement in terms that you could probably get Christian Wood for like same price, maybe cheaper than what you're paying Al Horford. Al Horford's making 10 this year. I bet you could get him for like 7. It just, do you believe you can play impactful winning basketball, or is he just looking for his own stats? He's a guy who can score from 3 off the dribble and has a solid skill set to be a modern big man, average almost 17 points. But another guy, Dylan Brooks. Okay, if you just ignore the past season, he was a guy at one point shooting 44% from the field and like 35, 36 from 3, giving you like 14, 15 a night. Dante DiVincenzo, he can play the 1, 2, 3. He's a good shooter, solid athlete. He understands his role as a complementary piece. I think these are all guys that Boston should look at. They might be a little too expensive. Kelly Oubre could be a guy that they could get cheaper, and he could be a 1-year deal trying to, redo himself. Malik Beasley, he's going to get his option decline, and he's gets hot and cold pretty quick, but he's a confident spot-up shooter and can score off the dribble. He could help out. Same thing with Lonnie Walker, Trey Jones, Kobe White, Ayo DeSumo, Jalen McDaniels, all those guys. Pat Bev, I don't think Pat Bev is, but Georges Niang, some 3-point shooting. Josh Richardson, I mean, they had him before, so I don't think they'd bring him back. But Javon Carter, a defensive-minded point guard, if they do move on from one of their point guards. And Torrey Craig, who's a guy who specializes in defense and toughness and can hit the open 3, average 7.5 points. I think definitely those are the type of guys that they should be looking at, in my opinion. If they do move on from, either Bob Williams or, Robert Williams or Al Horford, Andre Drummond could be cheap to bring in. Watanabe is another guy. Josh Okogie, all guys that, I know they're not going to be crazy, but, they could help the team, Jock Landale, I really think these are guys that, would build up their depth better than Sam Hauser, Justin Champagnie, Luke Cornett, Mike Muscala, Peyton Pritchard in the playoffs. So if, you need some new other guys, I think the guys that I listed ahead would give you more versatility than the current guys you have on roster. That's just me. And that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think is going to happen with the Boston Celtics, as it is a pivotal offseason because they have some decisions to make in terms of who they want to pay, who they're going to pay, and why. I just think it opens up a can of worms, to say the least, okay? And maybe I'm just, overreading it. I don't even know, guys. I just think it's kind of funny how this has all just played out. And that's where I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think should be done, especially from Boston fans? You guys are funny. I love y'all. My dad made me love him. I love KG too. And Larry Bird might be the greatest player of all time. He is.